Hi, how's it going? This is Resident of Collinwood, and I'm here to discuss the 007 franchise, or what some might call the James Bond franchise. It definitely should be called that. What are my thoughts? I'm here to give my thoughts on 007 going from a man to a woman. That basically by the end of No Time to Die, we're going to get a woman 007. How do I feel about that? I think time's going to tell. Here's my I'm going to give you my pros and cons. But before I do that, I think when you take a look at this film set that they've done with Daniel Craig as 007, I mean, in Skyfall, prior to his wife, the girl who was played by Eva Green, her character gets killed. Prior to her death, he marries her and retires. Even, I mean, what's weird is in Casino Royale, he literally just becomes a double O. So that's what was weird about Casino Royale basically is like a modern day on Her Majesty's Secret Service. I know people aren't going to like me saying that, but it is in many ways. I mean, it's pretty much almost the same. It's pretty similar, the stories. I would almost call it, to me, Casino Royale is a remake of On Her Majesty's Secret Service, in my opinion. If you don't agree with that, that's fine. I've seen it. Go watch the films. Quantum of Solace was. So I give On Her Majesty's Secret Service a 6. Quantum of Solace, I give a 6.5. It's a little better story. It's a little more its own, somewhat. Then I get to Skyfall, which has so far been the best James Bond with Daniel Craig. I give this an 8.5. And people say only an 8.5. Why? Because they had to bring back a familiar Bond villain to get this over. I wish Dave Bautista would have just been the main villain in this. He was good in that. And the thing of it is, in Skyfall, in the beginning of Skyfall, he gets shot off a train and he retires and then comes back. So, in out of four of these so far, in two of these his character retires. So I think in this series they've hinted really at just retiring the James Bond character. I think that's what they've been trying to hint at this whole time. What are my thoughts on that? I sort of get why, because it's after how many years, ever since the 60s when this character was first introduced, it's hard to keep coming back with new stuff for that character, for the name of James Bond. I'm sure they could if they really wanted to, or come up with something, sure. Now, do I think they should switch 007 from a man to a woman? The the wait and see approach for this, am I going to continue to watch 007 with a woman? Of course. Of course I am. And here's why. Here's what I want to see. I honestly want to see if they come up with new stories and new villains for this 007 character, for the new 007 character. And what I mean by that is, if this woman really is a new 007, then obviously you can't have the same characters that the old 007 went up against, because it would make no goddamn sense. It would make no sense for her to go up against an Oddjob, a Jaws. Those characters have already come and gone. A Goldfinger, the list goes on and on and on. A Blowfield. You get what I'm saying. If you're really going this direction, and they are, which is fine, I get it. I don't mind it as much as everyone else, and I know there are people going to roll their eyes at this video, and that's fine. But what I'll say is, if they honestly take this new 007 and have her have completely new characters, villains, then okay, this is a plus. But if they don't, they just say, you know what, we just took 007 and switched the name, made 007 a woman, but we're basically going to have the same old villains, then no. If you're not going to have new stories with in every way, shape, and form, a new character, because that's what she is, then basically you've wasted my time. I think that's the biggest issue with the Bond franchise right now. It's not awful, but it's not as great as it once was because, again, they can't seem to find nothing new to do with 007 from a major villain standpoint. They want those major villains. I think the best villain so far has been Blofeld, obviously. But I do think No Time to Die will be good. I'm just curious to see where are they honestly taking this new 007, this woman, because if you're just taking her and basically rehashing the same old villains, then it's pointless to have a brand new 007. Obviously, her name's not going to be James Bond. That would be completely stupid. Her name's going to be something else. I don't know what. I'm sure, 007, obviously. So it'll be really interesting to see what they honestly do with this woman and where are they going to take her and who are they going to introduce as new antagonist. I mean, and that's really what the Bond franchise really needs is new antagonists. I think that's been the biggest thing. With Casino Royale, I was talking to you about Casino Royale and On Her Majesty's Secret Service. On Her Majesty's Secret Service, Blofeld kills his wife. Well, in Skyfall, they just revealed that Blofeld planned the murder of his wife. So really, like I said, Casino Royale, this whole series, in some sense, has almost been a retelling of On Her Majesty's Secret Service in some way. Which is crazy, but it is what it is. I really, really hope they find a way to properly introduce new villains for this new 007. That's my primary concern, no matter who they have, who or what sex they have as 007. I think, for people to shit on her just because, they don't want to see a woman as 007. And look, I get it. Is this a woke decision? It probably is. But what will really tell that is the next film after this, because if they just give you the same old villain, then yeah, they've wasted your time. Who are my Bonds all time? Number one, look, Sean Connery all time. Number two, Timothy Dalton. Timothy Dalton never gets enough credit for being James Bond. I love some Timothy Dalton. Number three is probably definitely a tie between Pierce Brosnan and oh god, Roger Moore. But I like Daniel Craig. I think he's done a good job. I don't think there's things I wish they would have. It feels like the things they could have done with Daniel Craig's character, a lot of it might have been left on the table. And that's the one thing I'll say with this new 007. Don't leave things on the table, guys. If you're really hashing a new plan for this, then go forward with it and bring new stuff to the table for the 007 franchise. Don't just rehash the old villains and rehash the old shit with a new character. Because if you do, I'm out. But time will tell. We'll see what they do. I mean, the movie No Time to Die is a transition movie, no matter what you say. I think they'll kill James Bond? No. No, I think they'll leave that door wide open in case they feel they've made a mistake. Because I think if you kill James Bond, you're going to be in some because once you kill the character, here's the problem. You reboot the franchise. Even if you're successful with this woman character, and eventually you want to go back, well, now we have to completely reboot the franchise. I don't think they would want to completely reboot this franchise all over again with James Bond, because to me, if you're going to really have James Bond, leave him alive somewhat. Give me a hint he might be alive at least. I don't think they'll kill him. I know it's hinted they might or probably will, but I'm hoping not. I hope they leave that door open. So let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.